Most people would do this like before they started, but you know, whatever. I'm here with, really? Shut up. The 4 collectors divergent thingy. Yeah. Red Riding Hood and his, yes, because Little Red Riding Hood is a boy, in case you didn't know. Plot twist. When he goes to visit his dad in the juvie, no, he's not in juvie, he is in jail. It's gonna be a long video. Hey guys, it's Jay and I'm here with my December wrap-up. I know, crazy, I'm actually doing one of these. But I've been off school for a week and I actually read books. It's a miracle. But I only read 4, which is still pretty good for a week, I think. So without further ado, let us get started.
Also, I am so sorry about the lighting. It's like 5 o'clock at night and I'm about to go back to Toronto and I'm filming this super quick before I leave. And I know that I'm probably going to look orange and I apologize for that, but ain't nothing I can do about it because I didn't get out of bed until like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. So, yeah, it's really dark and whatnot and yeah, I'm sorry. Okay.
The first book that I read in December is 4, A Divergent Collection by Veronica Roth. I don't really think I need to give a synopsis of this, but basically it is stories from 4's perspective. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I absolutely love 4. He is so adorable and I just, I really like how you learn so much about his past and how he became who he is today, which I thought was really interesting, and I really like this book and it was really good. And if you haven't read it already, which I'm sure you probably have because everybody's read it by now, read it because it's really good.
But read Divergent first, that would make more sense. If you haven't read Divergent and then Insurgent, then Allegiant, and then this. Perfect.
The next book I have is Dust City by Robert Paul Weston. This is a fairy tale retelling. This book is about Henry Welp. He has always been a good wolf. He's never been in trouble in his life until one day he finds himself in juvie after an incident with a rock and a fairy dust truck. His father is also in prison for the murder of Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother. When he goes to visit his dad in jail, he discovers that his dad may have been framed by a dwarf named Skinner, who may also be responsible for the disappearance of the fairies. Now it's up to Henry and a female wolf, Fiona, to find Skinner and discover what happened on that terrible night. Dun, dun, dun. I gave this book a 4 out of 5 on Goodreads. I thought this book was so fast-paced and entertaining, and I loved how different characters from the Grimm's fairy tales were also put into this but had like a twist on them. For instance, there was Snow White, who was Detective White, and she was a total badass and kicked everybody's butt, and I love her. The only problem I had with this book, and the reason I didn't give it a 5 out of 5 stars, is because there was a very, very, very gory couple of chapters, and I'm terrible with gore, so I was like, ugh. So I'm sure if other people are fine with gore, it would be perfectly fine and it would be a 5 out of 5 book, but I was like so close to puking that whole time. It was disgusting and I was like, I just want to finish it. Yeah. But after that it got good again, so read the book. Read this book. Yes? Okay. The next book I read was Slide by Jill Hathaway. This book is about Sylvia, who goes by V, and she was diagnosed with narcolepsy, which means she falls asleep in places that aren't really suitable for sleep. Basically, she can't control her sleeping pattern. But unlike other narcoleptic people, V can touch an object that somebody has emotionally imprinted on and slide into their head and see the world through their eyes.
Which would be super cool, I think, just saying. Like, yes, please.
When V slides into the body of an unknown person, she sees something horrific. Dun dun dun. Her sister's best friend, Sophie, has been brutally murdered but is being framed as a suicide. When V realizes what's happening, she must find the killer before it's too late because she thinks her sister may be next. Dun, dun, dun. This book was so addicting. I flew through it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. V was hilarious and so spunky and entertaining and intelligent, and not to mention she had pink hair, which
I had pink hair and it was the best experience ever.
All the secondary characters like her sister Maddie, her best friend Rosalind, even her dad were so awesome and they just made the story so much better. Also, I guarantee if you read this book, you will guess the killer wrong 20 million times. you think it's one person and then it's like, oh no, it's this person, no, it's this person, no, it's this person, no, it has to be this person, and then it's not the person you think at all. I gave it a 4 out of 5 on Goodreads, so seriously guys, read this book. This is what I'm saying for all the books in this thing, because they're all really good, okay? The final book I read is Pretty Face by Mary Hogan. This book follows Haley. She's 16 and everybody has always said she's funny, such a good friend, and has a pretty face. There's only one problem. Haley is overweight and extremely upset about it. Her mother, who is a member of Waist Watchers, is constantly on her back about losing at least 30 pounds.
Which is totally not cool, Mom. Totally not cool.
When the opportunity to go to Italy for an entire summer comes up, obviously Haley's going to take it. The only negative thing Haley sees in this opportunity is leaving her best friend Jackie behind, but
I mean, I would leave my best friend, sorry Abby, I would, for a summer in Italy. Just saying. Sorry, not sorry. Italy is Italy.
on her trip Haley finds love, friendship, and a brand new her. This book was okay. I mean, it wasn't great, it wasn't terrible. I give it a 3 out of 5 stars. I really loved Haley. She was witty and funny and just such a great main character. I found some parts of the book kind of boring and I just found myself skimming it instead of actually reading it. I love the overall idea of the book where you should learn to love yourself and you come first, except I didn't like how Haley realized that she could love herself only when a boy came into the picture.
I mean, Enzo, who's the boy, was totally swoon-worthy and adorable, and I mean, yes, Enzo, I'm feeling you, Enzo, but like, that was the only part that bothered me. Like, I'm just saying, like, we need some girl power up in his house. Yeah? Yeah. Haley, come on. Love yourself before a boy tells you to love yourself.
Alright guys, so that was my December wrap up. I'm not going to do a January TBR because it's back to school for me, which means no more reading. Which means sad J. But I will see you in my next video, and goodbye. Female wolf friend. Retellings? Yeah, okay. Oh.
Who else was there? I don't know.
Body of an unknown. Why can't I get the word unknown out? A second. Not holding up the book. The 30 pounds she has overweight. Yeah, that made sense. That's it, people.